Nick Herbig's rise forces Steelers to reassess defensive lineup. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is finding its rhythm, but no player has ascended quite like outside linebacker Nick Herbig. His rapid emergence has not only caught the attention of coaches and fans alike, but also sparked discussions about his future role on the team. A defensive resurgence. Following a shaky start to the season, the Steelers' defense showcased significant improvement in Week 3 against the New England Patriots. They not only recorded multiple turnovers, but also hinted at the elite potential they were expected to deliver. This performance was no fluke, as they continued their upward trajectory with another strong showing against the Minnesota Vikings, further solidifying their status as a formidable unit. Herbig's impactful performance. Lace of the injured Alex Highsmith, who traditionally occupies the starting role opposite TJ Watt, Herbig has stepped into the spotlight with impressive performances. The 24-year-old linebacker has not only filled the void, but has raised the question of whether he should retain his spot when Highsmith returns. His contributions have been crucial, with 7 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and a forced fumble over the past 2 games. Herbig's athleticism is a standout trait that has become increasingly evident on the field. His ability to leverage his speed and agility has made him a constant threat to opposing offenses. Against the Vikings, his 1.5 sacks were a testament to his skill in maneuvering around offensive tackles, demonstrating a knack for getting low and exploiting gaps. Beyond his pass-rushing capabilities, Herbig's relentless pursuit of the ball carrier showcases his high motor and dedication to the game. While Herbig has made significant strides, there remains room for improvement, particularly in his ability to consistently set the edge during running plays. Yet, even when he faces challenges, he is often the first to respond if a runner breaks through the initial defensive line. This tenacity underscores his potential to evolve into a key player for the Steelers in the coming weeks. As the season progresses, the Steelers face a pivotal decision regarding their lineup. Nick Herbig's impressive rise may force them to rethink their strategy, potentially keeping him in a prominent role alongside TJ Watt and the returning Highsmith. The Steelers' defense is on the rise, and Herbig's contributions could be a significant part of their success moving forward. The Minnesota Vikings had a tough outing last weekend in London, where they not only lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-21, but lost 2 starters, center Ryan Kelly and right tackle Brian O'Neill, to injury. O'Neill has since been diagnosed with an MCL sprain, which, while serious, should not force him to go on short-term IR. Kelly, meanwhile, has now suffered 2 concussions already this season, after sustaining his most recent one against Pittsburgh. This was his 5th since 2023, and calls have since been brought forth to encourage him to consider the possibility of retirement. As such, at least in the near future, both could be out of commission. And, to compound the Vikings' problem on the offensive line, rookie first-round pick Donovan Jackson is suffering from a wrist injury that should keep him out until at least Week 7. So it could well be in Minnesota's interest to trade for at least one offensive lineman as their 3 starters continue to recover. Especially if Kelly heeds some of the advice given to him and looks to put his career on pause. Vikings proposed to trade for ex-first-round offensive lineman. Bleacher Report's Alex K. suggests that the Vikings should make a move for the New York Giants' 2022 top 10 pick, Evan Neal, as a high-ceiling, plug-and-play option in their faltering offensive line. The Vikings' makeshift offensive line continued to implode in Week 4 when right tackle Brian O'Neill and center Ryan Kelly went down with injuries.
K. wrote on Tuesday.
The unit was already featuring backups at 3 starting spots and could hardly afford to lose more talent within the offensive trenches. While the team has a chance to get healthier heading into a much-needed bye following a 24-21 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin, Minnesota's brass should also use the downtime to work the phones and find some O-line help. Evan Neal could become a beneficiary of Kevin O'Connell's offensive prowess. Although Neal has hardly lived up to anything near the expected billing for an offensive lineman selected so early on in the draft, Kay suggests that head coach Kevin O'Connell's ability to take often underperforming but talented offensive players and max them out to their fullest potential could be a core reason the Vikings should look to roll the dice on the ex-Alabama man. Evan Neal may be the perfect answer, even though he's yet to see the field for the New York Giants in 2025. He was relegated to backup guard work this season despite making 27 starts since the G-Men drafted him at number 7 overall in 2022. He's most experienced at the tackle positions and could slot in to replace O'Neal immediately, becoming the latest reclamation project in the Twin Cities under head coach Kevin O'Connell. Neal has experience at both guard and tackle in the league, having been moved inside in recent years in an attempt to get him to see more game time. Unfortunately for him, he has been unable to usurp incumbent guards, John Runyon and Greg Van Roten, from their respective slots and remains a bench player. Kay suggests that the compensation could come out to the approximate value of a 7th-round pick. And for that modest price, it could be worth the gamble for Minnesota, who need to find a way to get their season back on track. Since the beginning of the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been viewed as a team that could still be active on the trade market. After an offseason full of going all-in with aggressive roster moves, the team is not playing around. Aaron Rodgers was signed to a 1-year contract. He is widely expected to retire following the 2025 NFL season. If that is indeed the case, the Steelers may only have one shot at winning a Super Bowl for the next few years. Not only did Pittsburgh bring in Rodgers, but it also traded for star wide receiver DK Metcalf, star cornerback Jalen Ramsey, and tight end Jonnu Smith. Clearly, the Steelers aren't playing around. That being said, another wide receiver could be used by Rodgers. Could the front office pull off another trade before the deadline to give him another weapon? Andrew Vasquez of Steelers Wire has suggested just that. Following the injury to wide receiver Calvin Austin, he mentioned New Orleans Saints wide receiver Chris Olave as a possible trade target for Pittsburgh. The Saints roster could go on bargain sale after New Orleans dropped to 0-4 on the season, and Olave, who's playing on his 5th-year option without a long-term extension, could be the first of many to be traded, Vasquez wrote. If Pittsburgh is truly all in on a Super Bowl this season, acquiring Olave is the move to make. Olave would be a very intriguing pickup for the Steelers. He's a more than capable playmaker and a deep threat as well. While there have been some injury issues that have slowed him down, the young wideout has shown a ton of potential. So far this season with the struggling Saints, Olave has played in all 4 games. He has caught 26 passes for 185 yards and a touchdown. Considering the quarterback situation in New Orleans, those numbers are impressive. If Pittsburgh was able to pull off a deal for Olave, he would pair perfectly with Metcalf. The defense would be unable to focus on slowing down both Olave and Metcalf. One of those 2 wide receivers would be able to create mismatches week in and week out. Rodgers would be getting another dynamic weapon. He has played very well through the first 4 games, but could take his production to another level with an elite number 2 target. While this is just an idea, it's one that would make a lot of sense. If the Saints place Olave on the trade block, the Steelers should look into the option of acquiring him.